Hey, what's going on? So, if you are here, you are obviously a real estate agent that is interested in getting leads online, growing your social media, or all of the above. Ultimately, so I'm going to kind of walk you through everything that you see here on the screen. And as we go along, you'll really start to understand a lot more of what this is all about. So, to kind of give you an idea, when you're starting out a brokerage, one of the first things that you're going to have to learn how to do is acquire leads. Now, the thing is, acquiring leads takes time and learning how to do it takes time, and times change so much that what used to work doesn't work as well, or if it does work, it's being highly utilized with a back end capital or upfront capital, however you want to kind of look at it. So what virtual real estate agent allows you to do is to be able to grow your social media while simultaneously building authority to be the go-to agent in your market, and also with that authority be able to grasp leads that come in from your authority social media organic growth. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did that. So if you don't know me, my name is Shaq or Video Shack. There's a lot of different names. But anyway, understanding the virtual real estate agent flow. That's what I'm going to be teaching you. So as we zoom in right here, you see we start at this question mark. Now the question mark has a lot to do with what is this? This question mark is pre-sales marketing. Now, when real estate agents first get started, 95% of the time, and let's say 99% of the time, they don't understand this part because all we get talked about is this. Listing appointments, which is the major KPIs, of course. Listing appointments, the more listing appointments you get, the more listings you'll close. And of course, once the listing closed, then you'll have your listing agreement. Of course, if you're working on a buyer seller side, things are a little bit different. Seller agreement, buyer agreement, whatever, the whole listings agreement. And then you go into your sales process. And once you finish your sales process, you then have a sold home. That is a bird's eye view of like what it is. And when people get to the sales process, 95% of the reason why people get their real estate license is because they heard, oh, you'd be a great real estate agent, or they're good with talking, they're good with jargon, they're good with yapping. You know what I mean? So this is how I'm looking at the sales process and why so many people actually even get stuck in real estate. Truthfully, I truly feel like people get stuck into real estate because they're good with sales or they're good with like jargon. And then they basically want to figure out how to capitalize on that. And of course, selling homes is a great idea. Well, at least most of us believe that. So the thing is, once you get into pre-sale marketing as a new real estate agent, you realize that it's up to you to find clients. And most real estate brokerages are not willing to show you that. For some reason, I don't understand why, because if they showed you how to do that, then they would actually be making much more money. But also these things change so much over time that I think that they don't have enough resources to be able to actually coach you. So that's what I'm doing. How to find clients is called lead generation. And once you get to lead generation, we have this bridge. And as we cross this bridge, we're getting to the old way of generating leads, which are a couple of different things. Cold calling, you have things like farming, you have your sphere of influence, you have open houses, and then you have floor time, which is like when I'm not sure if that's like a thing that every brokerage does, but basically like you're on the floor, like kind of waiting for walk-ins, kind of like a retail store, waiting for walk-ins and like waiting for people to make phone calls to the brokerage to get some questions and then for you to basically close them on the phone. But there's no sales experience regarding the floor time either. So it's interesting. Anyway, so my goal with virtual real estate agent and you and anybody that's watching this is to get you to stop doing this stuff. Because ultimately it's dated stuff. And what happens once you get to lead generation? What's the next step? Traffic. So that's like the main goal. The main goal of every single person that's doing lead generation is traffic. And once you get to the traffic, the next thing is a good traffic source, a new traffic source. And the best way to do that is to dial in on social media. So social media is going to be the new form of traffic. Okay. It is like the best way of getting traffic. You understand that, you know that if you're watching this, you understand that that's the case. So yeah. So remember that question mark that we had that we were a little unsure about? Pre-sales marketing. You go from 0 to 100. And what does that generate? That generates traffic. And what's the best way to generate traffic is social media. So therefore, this is showcasing the road to your main KPI, which is your listing appointments. And what's great about this is the more listing appointments you get, the more opportunity you actually have to actually close one. So the goal is to get on a phone call, get a listing appointment, get on a phone call, get a listing appointment, get on the phone call, get a listing appointment, get on the phone call, get a listing appointment to the point where you actually get the listing appointment booked. You know what I mean? And the more listing appointments that you close, the closer you get to that main thing that we all want, which is that listing. We want to have that listing under our belt. Okay. So now we're going to be getting into a little bit of different things. So when we get into the idea of social media and utilizing social media in order to be able to get your leads or your traffic, there's a couple of different things that you can do. So there's short form, which is high traffic, high conversion, and well, there's conversions that come along with that. And I would consider short form to be top of funnel. Depending on how you utilize the short form, it could function as middle of funnel or bottom of funnel. So basically top of funnel is stuff that is great for reach. Middle of funnel is things for nurturing, and then bottom of funnel is for conversions. That's the best way to put it. So then you have your long form. It's a little bit of lower traffic 95% of the time, unless you have like a decent following and you can get a lot more traffic to that video. Or if you just have a good video, you have higher conversions, and you have your time, which it takes time for people to consume long form content, but it's massively it's massively beneficial when somebody consumes a lot of you, because they're basically bottom of funnel by that time. But this I would still consider to be middle of funnel in the beginning stages of long form content. And then you have your static posts, which are good for reach as of right now, based off of the current market, social media market. It's good for nurturing. It has lower engagement. It's better for like carousels. If you do carousels, you can get higher engagement. It's top of funnel, middle of funnel, which requires strategy, and bottom of funnel or bottom of funnel. And then you have lives, which that's a new thing that we're going to be getting into. I'm not sure if I'm going to ever dive into the live thing. It's something that I personally don't feel like I would do, but I know that there's lots of benefit inside of it. So it might be something that I do in the near future. So stay tuned for that. Now, outside of that, it's major conversion and it's major bottom of funnel, because at the end of the day, essentially it's kind of like a pre-sales call. So out of all of these different things, what is the one that performs well? This is short form. This is long form. This is your carousels and your static posts. And then this right here is your live. And the thing that I would say to utilize the best in order to be able to get high traffic is the thing that gives you high traffic potential, high conversions, and high top of funnel means higher reach, which means you can utilize that to be able to get in front of more people. So the way the top of funnel works basically is you have your short form, you have your engagement, you have your virality, and then you have your traffic. And that traffic nurtures you into a middle of funnel style of content person, right? So we get more traffic. What does that mean? We get more leads. And once we get more leads, we can convert more. And when we convert more, we get more of our KPI, which is that listing appointment. And the more listing appointments we get, the more opportunities we have to get that listing agreement. So the goal is to get a booked calendar call in order to be able to get those listing appointments. So not every call is going to be a sale. It's just the truth. But the thing is, you're building rapport. You can take these people and you can put them into a nurture sequence. And you can do things like nurture sequences, which is basically taking people and nurturing them, letting them know about you, giving them information, adding them to your email list, following up with them, seeing how they're doing over time, and seeing how things work. The thing is with social media, that nurture sequence and that time delay that happens, you really have like a 2-week lead time before everything's like out the window. You have to re-get them into kind of like that hot, warm spot. But anyway, the more listing appointments that you get, the more opportunity you have to actually book them. Once you get booked listing appointments, that turns into your listing agreement. And once you get to your listing agreement, you're 50% done with the transaction, the full transaction. I mean, once you get a listing agreement, you're 50% done with the transaction, but you're just getting started with the sales process, because the sales process is a whole nother game. And of course, if you're here, I would assume that you kind of understand the sales process within real estate. So a good sales process is going to help with a happy client, which helps with closed deals, which helps with referrals. And on average, if you're a real estate agent, your average commission is about $3,000. I'm from New Jersey, so I'm close to New York. You know, I mean, that's like a prime area, higher real estate prices. So the average commission is about $3,000. Most brokerages for like better brokerages, I think is about $8,000. So, I mean, if you get anything from this, it's to understand that your listing appointments are the most important KPI for you. That's what top agents do understand when we get to this point, is the fact that the more volume that they have, the new ways on how to create more volume is what they invest in when they get that $3,000 check. They realize, okay, I have this money now. You don't act rich and you go and you purchase something. I mean, you might, but the whole point of real estate and the reason why top agents are top agents is because they're creating a business system that is able to replicate itself and kind of dive back into itself. And that's one thing that top agents understand, is that volume needs to be invested back into, because the volume is what got you the listing appointment, which got you the listing agreement, which got you to actually close the deal. That's like the main thing that you need to be focusing on. And your volume is equal to your traffic source. What's great is you get higher conversions, which result in, if you have higher volume, you get more opportunities to have listing appointments. And when you have more opportunities to have listing appointments, you have more opportunities to close deals. And the more money you generate, and then you reinvest it back into your business. And then that's, of course, where you get the nice, lavish, fancy lifestyle that gets kind of talked about all over Selling Sunset and stuff. So the main goal that I'm trying to get you to understand is the old way is cold calling, farming, open houses, sphere of influence, and your floor time. The new way is social media, doing your pre-marketing sales, going from 0 to your lead gen, which brings you to 100, which is the new way, which allows you to get traffic, which then allows you to go back to square one, which then allows you to go back to, which is your pre-marketing sales. And the cycle begins. So what we're offering is basically teaching you how to put this whole system into play and do it at scale. So the virtual real estate agent is someone that utilizes social media in order to be able to generate business for their real estate business. And they understand that content is king.